Happy Monday, everyone. I wanted to stop in here and talk about a bill that's coming across in California. And before I go on, I want to give props out to a YouTube channel called Christian Warrior, who actually was one of the ones that brought this to not my personal attention, but he talked about this bill. And I had heard something about it, but nothing really brief. So I kind of dove into this a little bit more. So I want to thank him for bringing this up, and I'm going to share it with you guys. If you get a chance, go definitely check out his site. This is a bill. It's called AB 1333, and basically what this bill does is, once again, thank you, California. Basically limiting your right to their right to self-defense out there. Now, I know many of us don't live in California, but many of the nonsense that starts in California eventually works its way east and ruins the rest of our country. So what this bill does is basically redefines the definition of homicide. And what it's going to basically do is limit your right to defend your home or defend outside of your home. And it's no longer, you can't, basically, if I'm reading it right, you go read this. If you feel something's different, please comment on this and let me know. But basically, if you have any opportunity to retreat, now, this is going to be determined by most likely a local DA, prosecutor, whatever. So, but it doesn't define what that retreat actually is. So basically right now, if you have the castle doctrine in the state where you live, that means you can basically protect your home, from somebody that's trying to do you and your family harm. What this bill basically says is you can't just go, maybe your neighbor's maybe someone's outside your house, shooting your neighbors. You can't just go stop that person. If I'm reading this bill right, you can't go do that. If you saw somebody come in your neighbor's yard, they can now basically say that you are murdering that person. And I've read some of the comments from some of the different sites about it, and they're like, "Oh, no, this isn't about limiting your right to self-defense." It most certainly is. And it's also basically discouraging people from basically protecting others, because you could basically get in trouble for doing that. Because if you happen to be outside in your yard and you're armed, which in California is probably not as likely as it might be in some other states, but you have a duty to retreat before you can exercise your Second Amendment rights, let's just say. So, which could be, which in a state like California, they're going to run with this. So basically, if somebody breaks in your house and you feel like you're threatened, but maybe you could have run down the hall and hid in a closet, but instead you chose to fight, and defend yourself. Just defend your home, defend your family. They can now consider that, a homicide, and I know you're going to see comments from, especially the gun control channels. Oh, this is not about that at all. It 100% is. Don't let them fool you, because we've seen what they are willing to do across the board. So, keep an eye on this one. Like I said, I know I'm pretty far east from California, but many of you maybe not. And this might, this should be something that you might want to look into, because it could be coming our way in some form or another. Maybe not in all the states, obviously, but it's definitely something to watch, because once again, California empowering criminals, and basically, turning the average law-abiding citizen into a criminal while protecting, the real criminals. I guess, as far as the politicians go, I guess birds of a feather tend to stick together. So keep an eye on this. I definitely think there's, I don't know if this will pass. I don't dive into California politics too much. It's, if you want to get frustrated and angry, dive into some of the things that are going on over there. But this is one that just kind of was, it kind of came onto my radar, and I looked into it a little bit. So, and like I said, in the bill, it basically is, if I'm reading their bill right, which I went on the California legislative page, it changes a lot of the language under homicide. So it's basically redefining what homicide is and probably making it more broad. So that way they can come after you. The goal of these bills is not to protect anybody. The goal of these bills is to basically disarm the law-abiding citizen in any way, shape, or form that they can. And that's what this bill was going to do. It may not necessarily disarm you right now, but it's going to discourage people from getting involved. I would say it's going to create more victims if it's going to do anything, because now if somebody breaks in your house, you might be thinking twice about protecting yourself because you don't know what the consequences are, and with these aggressive and these ultra left-wing DAs and prosecutors in these states, they'll go after you. They don't care. Your freedom is not something that's important to them. Your incarceration is more important to them, and they like to feel like they are doing something in the name of gun control and things like that. So let's just not be naive anymore. And we're way past that. It's time to really start looking at these bills and looking at these measures for exactly what they are. And these are just another grab at taking your freedoms away to defend yourself. And and many of these bills are disguised as feel-good bills and all this kind of stuff, and they're not. These bills are meant to take your ability to defend yourself away, and they'll just keep chipping at this, and that's what they've been doing for years. And it's not going to get any better. Just it's like I said before, just because we have new president doesn't mean we have new thinking across the country. And these states are still producing these people. I guess they've learned nothing. But once again, stay vigilant. If you live in California, I don't know why, but good luck with this. I hope I hope maybe this doesn't pass, but the chances are it probably will in your state because of who's going to vote against it. So once again, stay vigilant. Get prepared. The good times aren't here yet, so it's still do what you can. Get ready, get prepared. If you live out there in one of these liberal states, and I kind of do. I'm kind of in the middle here. We still have a little bit of reasonableness, if that's a word, but here. But I'm sure it's going to work its way. I mean, you see all the craziness coming from from New York. So you basically got New York on one side and California on the other. So I assume that they'll probably start adopting things like this, because I know it's already strict enough up there. You can't, they would really rather have you murdered, your entire family murdered by a criminal, than you stopping it, which still blows my mind and is bizarre. So anyway, hopefully you can go check this out. It's AB 1333. And even if you're not from California, go check these things out. I mean, it's good to see what's coming across and what they're trying to do, and how they're trying to limit us. Even though it may, like I said, may not affect you right now, a lot of these bills eventually work their way across. So it's always good. And if I see this stuff, I'm going to try to bring it to your attention a little bit more. Like I said, I've been kind of down with the flu for a little bit, so I'm finally getting back on here. I'm going to try to get a little bit more, maybe some more videos coming your way. And anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you like this, please like and subscribe to the videos. If you want to share this, if you know somebody that maybe a benefit from this, or might enlighten somebody, or basically inform them, please do. I appreciate it. God bless everybody, and I will see you on the next one.